I'm Roxanne Agnew-Davis and Director of Domestic Violence Training Limited, and I'm a clinical psychologist by background. As health professionals, we are trained to do no harm, but this is the question I would ask you. If we do not address abuse, might that not do more harm? All an abuser requires us to do is nothing. Domestic violence services, both locally and nationally, are available. You do not have to be an expert in domestic violence. You just need to know where to refer. If you practice asking some simple questions, for instance, about psychological abuse, has anyone hurt you, put you down, humiliated you? If you ask about physical abuse, has anyone hurt you, or kicked you, or punched you? Or you ask about sexual abuse, do you ever feel like you've got to go along with sex to keep the peace, or has anyone hurt you sexually? The more you practice, the easier it becomes. We know from research that survivors often sit with health professionals thinking, ask me, ask me, ask me. So if the health professional doesn't ask or looks uncomfortable, then the survivor will think, you don't want to know. Well, a simple way to start is to get leaflets or posters, because we know from research that service users will take that information even without having a conversation with you. Well, it might help to start with an opening question. Perhaps, for example, many people with these symptoms have experienced domestic violence. Has anyone hurt or frightened you? If somebody discloses abuse, then it is really important that you offer what I would call a key message, such as, thank you for telling me. This is important because it affects your health. Or everyone has the right to be safe at home. If someone is at risk, then you may ask 4 very simple questions. Is it safe for you to go home? What has he threatened that he will do? What are you afraid might happen? Or has he threatened or hurt the children? There are a number of things that you might say that could help a patient. For instance, there is help out there, or can I recommend a number or give you a card if it's safe for you to take away? I offer people the National Domestic Violence Helpline number, which is very easy to remember. It's 0808 because it is free, 2000 because we're in a new century, and 24/7 because it's there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in case they need it. If a hostage was being held on an aircraft by a terrorist with a gun, would you say that they enjoyed being there? Why might not they leave? They don't leave because they're frightened, and many victims effectively are hostages at home. Leaving or escaping from domestic violence is a process. This may take a series of different actions and follow-up to help people secure their safety. Domestic violence workers will give emotional support and practical advice. They will help patients think through their options so that the person has more informed choices about what to do. You could go onto the Ava Project website where there are a number of toolkits, including Complicated Matters. And there is a book that was edited by Louise Howard, Jean Fader, and myself that was published by the Royal College of Psychiatrists called Domestic Violence and Mental Health.